Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down the big ideas shaping our world. Today we're diving into a massive question that sits right at the heart of global politics.
I mean, think about it. Who gets to write the rules for the world? For decades, the answer to that question seemed pretty clear, but not anymore. Right now, the world is in the middle of a huge debate, a real clash of competing visions for our future. You see, the old certainties of global politics are, well, they're fading. And what's taking center stage is this fundamental disagreement about power, leadership, and ultimately, control.
That post-Cold War idea of a single, dominant power calling the shots, it's now being challenged from pretty much every direction. And this isn't just about shifting alliances or countries changing teams. No, this is a battle over the very blueprint for how our world should be run.
So let's get into it. What are these competing ideas? At its core, the whole thing really comes down to two powerful and pretty opposing philosophies. And this frames the conflict perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you have this vision of a single, powerful leader maintaining peace. You've probably heard it called Pax Americana. And on the other side, you have a vision of many rising powers sharing control and building a different kind of order.
That idea of a world with one leader is what experts often call unipolarity. And one of the clearest recent examples of this is the America First doctrine, which, it's right there in the name. It explicitly prioritizes national interests above everything else. But there's a really powerful group of challengers pushing back hard against this model, and they've emerged from what's known as the Global South.
And let's be clear, this is not a small movement. The countries in the BRICS partnership alone, who are a key driver of this multipolar vision, now represent 47% of the world's population, nearly half, and they make up almost 40% of the global GDP. That is a massive shift in the global balance of power.
So, is that it? Is it just a simple, binary choice between one leader and many? Well, not quite. There's a third vision that argues we should focus less on who leads and a lot more on the rules that everyone agrees to follow.
This vision is what's called a rules-based multilateral order, and it's championed by actors like the European Union. It's a philosophy built on the idea that these huge global challenges we face, pandemics, climate change, poverty, they absolutely require coordinated global solutions.
And this approach, you can see here, is structured around four key pillars. It's all about creating a framework that aims to tackle these massive shared problems together through partnership.
And the need for better crisis management is just undeniable. I mean, consider this number, 15. That is the average number of major foreign policy crises the U.S. has faced in each and every four-year presidential term since the Cold War ended. That constant stream of emergencies makes a pretty powerful case for more robust international cooperation, right?
But hang on, there's another, much sharper critique that questions the very foundation that these other visions are even built on. This perspective, which President Eisenhower famously warned about way back in 1961, argues the real problem isn't who leads, but that the entire system is built on just massive, overwhelming military spending.
And if you want to understand this critique, really, you just have to follow the money. According to the National Priorities Project, over half, 62% of the annual U.S. discretionary budget is allocated to militarism.
The scale of this spending is just staggering. The U.S. and its allies massively outspend their rivals. I mean, Russia and China's combined military budgets are just a fraction of that total. It's a level of spending that is truly in a league of its own.
So the argument here is that this kind of spending creates a cycle of conflict. It diverts trillions of dollars away from resources that could be used to solve some of the world's most fundamental problems, like healthcare, education, and poverty.
So what does this clash of visions actually look like in the real world? Well, for one, it's creating new, incredibly complex networks that operate completely outside of the traditional rules.
We're seeing groups forming what's been called an axis of resistance to the current U.S.-led financial system. And research from Chatham House shows that these networks are becoming more and more resilient and a lot harder to dismantle.
They use the sophisticated web of tactics, both formal and informal, to get around the system. We're talking about everything from influencing state banks to using networks of front companies, to literally smuggling cash across borders, sometimes even in military vehicles. They'll even obscure the origin of oil through ship-to-ship transfers at sea. It's all designed to move money and resources in a way that challenges the established order. So ultimately, where does that leave us? One leader, many leaders, or a system of shared rules? This isn't just some far-off theoretical debate. We are living through the result of this struggle right now. It is a moment of profound change where that big question, who gets to write the rules for the world, remains completely unanswered.